And then I made Romantic Homicide, and it was so different than everything else I had made because it was actually sad. It was slow, it was sad, it was emotional.
What's up, fam? This story is wild, and it's got the whole music world spinning. An R&B singer named David has been caught up in a chilling scandal after audio surfaced of him seemingly confessing to the killing of a teenage girl named Celeste Rivas, whose body was later discovered in his Tesla. The fact that it was filmed and people close to him might have known all along makes this even darker. The most shocking part? A leaked demo track titled Celeste dropped online September 17th, 2025, the same exact day officials confirmed the discovery of Celeste Rivas Hernandez's remains. Fans aren't calling it just a song anymore. They're saying it's a straight-up confession wrapped in music. This wasn't some rough freestyle either. It was a fully produced R&B ballad running 2 minutes and 47 seconds that lined up too closely with the crime details to be coincidence. People who've listened to it say it's haunting, not just because of the slow, dreamy production David's known for, but because the lyrics sound like him narrating the crime. Investigators and independent producers have already verified that the vocal tone and mixing match David's previous studio sessions from 2023. Even scarier, the file metadata shows the track was recorded back in December 2023 at a Hollywood home studio, a full 4 months before Celeste went missing. That timeline alone has sent shockwaves through the internet. But the part that's keeping everyone up at night comes in the bridge. David doesn't just hint, he allegedly says Celeste's name and lays out details that connect eerily with the crime scene. Fans online are blasting the song on repeat, claiming he basically sang his own confession before anyone even knew she was gone. The leaked track takes an even darker turn when David sings, "Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest, smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed, but it gets worse." Right after he drops the chilling line, "Missing you so much makes me depressed, but I digress because..." And then the track abruptly cuts to an instrumental solo.
According to TMZ, just last night, the office listed the victim's gender as female, a height of about 5'1" and 71 pounds. This person has wavy black hair, and she apparently has a tattoo on her right index finger that reads, "Shh." Apparently, she had been wearing a tube top, black leggings, had a metal stud earring, and a metal chain bracelet in the shape of a W. According to TMZ, though, to be more specific here, there is no definitive conclusion as to age, gender, or cause of death.
Almost like he realized he had already gone too far. Fans instantly pointed out how specific those lyrics sound. The tattooed on her chest bar lines up loosely with a tattoo Celeste had on her finger that read, David even copied that exact design, tattooing it on himself back in September 2024. And the "smell her on my clothes like cigarettes" lyric sent shivers down spines because tow yard workers testified that David's Tesla gave off a foul, rotting odor after it sat abandoned for months. The leak first popped up through X, when a Dropbox file reportedly shared with a producer in January 2024 was exposed and covered by Dazed. Within hours, the post hit over 700 likes before blowing up across TikTok, YouTube, and SoundCloud. By September 18th, streams had already soared past 1.5 million, with fans labeling it David's murder ballad. The internet hasn't stopped replaying and dissecting every word since, but here's where things spiral completely out of control. Discord receipts and alleged phone transcripts have started surfacing, painting David not just as a grieving singer, but as someone actively plotting a cover-up. Screenshots dated between March and August 2024 from his fan Discord reportedly show him talking about getting rid of Celeste's body and even bragging about silencing her permanently. The most incriminating message dropped April 10th, 2024, just days after Celeste was reported missing. In a private group chat, the screenshots show David allegedly dropping the most incriminating words yet. Celeste flipped out last night, had to calm her permanent. Wrapped her tight in the air plastic from Amazon. Park it in Hollywood Hills, let it sit till towed. No tickets on it yet. Somebody in the chat warns him that body disposal risky AF, but David allegedly shoots back, "Tour alibi covers me. Send $1,000 each for silence. She's gone quiet forever." That phrase alone, "quiet forever," has been called a straight-up confession, and fans can't ignore the fact it mirrors his own song lyrics. The "wrapped her tight in the air plastic" detail is what's making jaws drop. That matches the horrific discovery of Celeste's remains.
But authorities are treating this as a death investigation. A spokesperson for the singer, whose real name, by the way, is David Anthony Burke, said in a statement to NBC News that he, quote, has been informed about what's happened, and although he is still out on tour, he is fully cooperating with the authorities. Now, we're going to talk about potential legal consequences here, but I have to say the singer may already be feeling the economic consequences.
Dismembered, stuffed inside a black duffel, and tightly sealed in plastic in the Tesla's front trunk. The quiet forever echoing his past hit romantic homicide makes it feel like he was bragging through music and private chats at the same time. But it doesn't stop there. Leaked transcripts of phone calls allegedly captured David laying out every step of his cover-up. One April 11th, 2024 call lasted 28 minutes, where he's quoted as saying, "Yo, Celeste wouldn't stop texting threats, had to end it quick, chokehold in the car, now she's packed, smells already. Drive the Tesla to Hills tomorrow, leave keys under mat, tow yard handles the rest. Body rots quiet." That chokehold mention is chilling because investigators are still waiting on the autopsy. But strangulation is already suspected based on the condition of the body. And if that wasn't disturbing enough, a later transcript from July 15th, 2024 shows him allegedly bragging again. Law, she silenced Eternal Trunk Tomb. No traces. Brag to the song. But fans too dumb. Paid y'all to forget. Now it's my best plot. The Trunk Tomb brag, and the way he tied it back to his own music, paints a picture of someone not just committing a crime, but flaunting it like a twisted trophy. What's even more disturbing is the financial trail. Screenshots reveal David allegedly shelled out over $8,000 through Venmo and Cash App, dropping notes like, "For the Celeste," and "Things stay silent." In one alleged transfer, he even wrote, "If cops ask, you never met her. I made it look like she ran away." That's not just hush money, that's straight up witness tampering dressed up as casual payments. Of course, David's representatives are scrambling, calling all these leaks malicious edits meant to smear an innocent artist. But here's the catch. The LAPD hasn't ruled them out. And when you line up the leaks with the investigation, the details overlap in ways that are too precise to ignore. The timing, the location, the way the body was wrapped, it all mirrors what detectives actually uncovered at the scene. What makes it even more twisted is how David apparently banked on his celebrity schedule to cover his tracks. He was out performing city to city while the Tesla sat abandoned in the Hollywood Hills with Celeste's remains inside. To him, that tour was supposed to be his airtight alibi, making him look untouchable while the body decomposed miles away. But the arrogance takes center stage when you see how he allegedly boasted in Discord chats and immortalized the crime in a haunting ballad. That's the kind of move only someone who believes their fame puts them above the law would dare to make, and the internet noticed immediately. Once the leaks went live, chaos erupted online. Hashtags like hashtag D4vd leaks and hashtag justice for Celeste lit up TikTok and X, surging past 1.2 billion views in record time. By September 18th, 2025, the internet was in flames. Fans who once saw David as a wholesome young artist were now tearing him apart, calling him a monster hiding in plain sight. The sense of betrayal was raw and everywhere. People couldn't believe the same guy they streamed for comfort might have been writing songs about real-life crimes the whole time. One furious ex-fan, known online as KC Raving Not Crush, vented in a viral post. "I'm so angry. I was confident he hadn't done anything. Waking up to this new evidence today makes me so sick. I pray for her family and I pray Celeste gets her justice. David is sick and needs to be stopped." That heartbreak and rage echoed across thousands of comments with timelines full of disgust and disbelief.
We got in touch with Celeste's mother, and the mother told us, because what the police had come out with was that the girl had a tattoo on her right index finger that said S.
Even before they could find out her name, they obviously had the body parts and they released some information.
And it was on her index finger. It said SHHH with 3 dots or 4 dots, and that's all we knew. The mother told us that my daughter had a tattoo on her right index finger that said the same thing, and that the tattoo, she told us, in fact, Anakin, she only spoke Spanish, so Anakin spoke to her.
Then came a breakdown that sealed it for many. Influencers online began piecing together the timeline, pushing the idea that David had groomed Celeste when she was barely a teen, pulled her into a relationship as a minor, and years later left her dead in his car. The horror deepened when people realized he was allegedly making songs bragging about it, while her body was literally found in the trunk of that Tesla. Fans said he didn't just kill her, he gloated through music. The connection between the lyrics and the crime scene has become the biggest factor driving public conviction against him. What cut deepest, though, was watching loyal fans flip overnight. One viral post summed it up. I don't know if David's a murderer, but he was definitely preying on someone way too young. He knew her since she was 12, started dating her at 13 while he was already 17. Now he's 20 and she's dead. The leaked track quickly earned a chilling nickname online, the Disgusting Song. Fans flooded comment sections with R.I.P. Celeste Rivas, while grooming accusations combined with murder rumors turned into a firestorm of outrage. On TikTok, creators reposted Discord screenshots claiming David was texting Celeste when she was only 12, fueling even more disgust. But not everyone was ready to declare him guilty just yet. A small group of defenders tried to push back, though their voices got drowned out fast. One fan account at Caesar Louis SPNU begged online, please shut up for a sec. Nothing is confirmed yet. Before you spread rumors, do your research. If the worst happens and David is found guilty of anything, I'll immediately change the whole purpose of this account. I don't support anything like that. Another skeptic, creator at R, pointed out, from the article, David was on tour, so it's giving setup or another scenario. That's where the framed theory began, a thin thread supporters clung to. Meanwhile, the numbers told a twisted story. Streams of romantic homicide first crashed by 40% as fans boycotted, but then surged over 300% as people obsessed over the lyrics for hidden clues. Critics dubbed it the murder bump, a sick phenomenon where horror fueled curiosity, boosting streams even as people claimed they were disgusted. The leaked Celeste track itself became a viral nightmare. TikTok edits synced his lyrics with footage of investigators pulling the Tesla from the Hollywood Hills tow lot, racking up over 50 million views. The most haunting clip? The bridge where David sang about Celeste being wrapped up tight, played side by side with footage confirming her body was found wrapped in plastic. Viewers called it one of the most disturbing viral moments in social media history. And through it all, David has stayed silent. His last post on X was back on September 10th, just a bland tour promo. With David refusing to speak, his team has been handling the fallout with tightly polished press statements, but they're only digging the hole deeper. TMZ reported an encounter with Celeste's mom through a tipster, while NBC News published a slightly more formal response from David's camp. Devastated by the tragedy, these rumors are coincidental, art twisted into lies, praying for Celeste's family. That phrase, coincidental art, set the internet on fire. Fans called it unbelievably tone-deaf, considering the leaked lyrics, chats, and receipts mirror the crime too closely to be coincidence. And David's actions? They might speak louder than any PR spin. He canceled shows in Seattle on September 17th and 18th, then postponed his San Francisco dates citing personal matters. For an artist who built his empire on fan connection and constant online presence, his sudden silence screams louder than words ever could. Out of the chaos, 3 dominant theories have emerged online, each with its own army of believers. The first, and by far the loudest, claims David is guilty of cold, premeditated murder. Sentiment trackers say this theory makes up nearly 70% of online chatter. Supporters point to everything: the matching tattoos, the song lyrics, the timeline placing him in LA when Celeste vanished, and the leaks lining up detail by detail with the evidence. The second theory, making up around 20% of posts, paints David as a victim of a setup, framed by rivals or obsessive fans. Defenders highlight logistical issues, like him being on tour at the time, and argue the leaks lack proper watermarks or verification. Some even claim the audio could be manipulated with deepfake tech. And then there's the third theory, a smaller camp with about 10% of the online discussion. They push the idea of an accidental killing during a heated argument, acknowledging the grooming accusations but suggesting her death may have been the result of a fight gone too far.
And she said that she had a boyfriend.
That's right, that she had a boyfriend and his name was David. And the mother never really got in contact with David, like she never saw him.
She didn't know who the David was.
She had heard of him. And it seemed like the last time that she had seen her daughter was when she had gone out with David.
Followed by a panicked cover-up rather than a calculated murder. Reddit threads have been dissecting every angle, with some users pointing to leaked chats suggesting a heated fight broke out before Celeste's tragic end. The narrative has inevitably drawn comparisons to other dark celebrity scandals, especially cases like R. Kelly, where fame, money, and industry power allegedly created a shield for predatory behavior. Critics argue the music world too often looks the other way until it's too late, and David's case is now being held up as the newest example of how young artists can slip into dangerous patterns unchecked. The leaked songs, Discord screenshots, and transcripts have triggered a full-blown social media feeding frenzy. And here's the kicker. Whether those leaks are completely authentic or skillfully fabricated, David's reputation is already demolished in the court of public opinion. The internet has convicted him, and now everyone's waiting to see if law enforcement can actually back up the viral accusations with hard evidence. It's a shocking fall for someone who looked like the future of R&B. David Anthony Burke, known to fans simply as David, was living the dream until September 2025 flipped his entire world upside down. Born March 28, 2005, in Queens, New York, and raised in Houston, Texas, this 20-year-old indie R&B phenom had turned his passion into a global movement. From charting Billboard hits to headlining tours, he was being praised as the next big crossover star, until the Celeste scandal broke and dragged everything into ruin. What makes the downfall even harder to watch is where it all started. David's story began humbly in his sister's Houston closet, where he recorded scratchy lo-fi tracks while dodging copyright strikes on his Fortnite YouTube montages. Teaching himself production through FL Studio, he started uploading originals to SoundCloud in late 2021. His sound, a blend of indie rawness, R&B smoothness, and a dash of rap, hit Gen Z like lightning. David's breakthrough moment came in July 2022 when Romantic Homicide took over TikTok and flipped his entire life upside down. The track shot to number 33 on the Billboard Hot 100 and later racked up over 1 billion streams on Spotify. Lyrics like, "I don't love you, but I still act like I do. Your heart was just too big for me. I didn't mean to make you cry. I just wanted to see you bleed" were once brushed off as raw teenage angst, but now they're being replayed and dissected as possible confessions hiding in plain sight. By 2024, David was riding the high of stardom. He dropped major singles, contributed Feel It to Amazon's Invincible soundtrack, and stunned fans with a Coachella performance that cemented his rising legend. Then came April 2025, when his debut album Withered landed straight at number 1 on the Billboard 200. Sold-out world tours, big label push, millions of loyal fans. He was living the dream every bedroom artist fantasizes about. But while the spotlight was blinding, something much darker was allegedly happening behind the screens. The twisted story of David and Celeste Rivas begins in the online spaces where predators are said to hunt for vulnerable connections. Celeste Rivas Hernandez was a 15-year-old aspiring TikTok creator from Lake Elsinore, California. Petite at 5'2" with long, wavy black hair, she dreamed of breaking into the influencer scene. Her first link to David came through TikTok and his fan Discord back in 2022 when she was just 12 and he was already 17. Leaked screenshots from David's fan hub, known as David's Pets, allegedly show their first interactions in late 2022 under usernames like Celeste XOXO13 and David_homicide. Reports say he messaged her directly after she uploaded a TikTok cover of Romantic Homicide. From there, the exchanges grew into what looks like a textbook grooming setup. Flattery, secrecy, and dangling promises of career opportunities to reel her in. The grooming pattern only got darker with time. A February 2023 screenshot allegedly shows David messaging Celeste. "Hey cutie, saw your TikTok? You got that vibe? I write about what's her age?" When Celeste replied 12 LOL, David's alleged response sent chills. "Age is just a number in art. Let's collab. Keep it secret." That phrase alone now reads like a giant red flag. By June 2023, when Celeste had just turned 13, he allegedly offered to fly her out to Los Angeles. At the same time, Venmo receipts surfaced showing David sending money labeled art inspo to her friends, allegedly to buy their silence. What started as casual messages escalated quickly into something much more sinister. By early 2024, when Celeste was 14 and David was 19, Server members were openly speculating about them dating. In March 2024, David allegedly typed, "She's my muse. Kept it low-key, 'cause age vibes, our secret." Then there's the tattoo connection, a symbol that now feels disturbingly loaded. Celeste showed off a tattoo on her right index finger in a 2023 TikTok. Months later, in September 2024, after her disappearance, David inked the exact same design on himself. To many, that wasn't a tribute, but either a twisted memorial or a grotesque trophy. Either way, the timing made the internet shudder. Celeste's mother, Maria Hernandez, later told TMZ her daughter had mentioned a boyfriend named David in early 2024. They allegedly spoke through Snapchat about visiting Los Angeles. Maria and the family never approved of those trips, making her disappearance sting even more, knowing the warnings had been ignored. The nightmare reached its breaking point on April 5, 2024. That was the last day Celeste was seen. She had told her brother Matthew she was heading out to see a movie in Lake Elsinore. Celeste never made it to the movies that night. Her phone went dark after sending one last Snapchat at 7:42 p.m., hinting at heading to LA for a cool opportunity. Friends later said she was buzzing with excitement about meeting a famous singer, while leaked Discord logs allegedly show David coordinating the meetup that very week. What followed, according to the leaks, was a heated argument that spiraled into a fatal encounter. Fast forward to September 8th, 2025. The nightmare finally came full circle. Workers at Hollywood Tow and Auto Storage noticed a stench coming from David's abandoned black Tesla Model 3, which had been sitting impounded for weeks. When they popped open the front trunk, the horror was undeniable. A black duffel bag holding Celeste's dismembered, decomposed remains wrapped in plastic. The details of what she was wearing made the discovery even more chilling. A black tube top, black leggings, a yellow bracelet, and stud earrings. All the exact same outfit Celeste had on the day she vanished in April 2024. Investigators say the dismemberment looked like an attempt to force her body into the cramped space, a move that suggested premeditation and sheer coldness that shocked even seasoned detectives. On September 17th, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner officially ruled the case a homicide. The advanced decomposition meant the cause of death was deferred pending toxicology. But the estimated timeline of death lined up squarely with her April 2024 disappearance. That means her body sat hidden in that Tesla for nearly 5 months while the world searched for answers. The fallout has obliterated David's career and reputation. His streams briefly spiked 300% thanks to morbid curiosity, only to crash when boycotts spread across platforms. Brands that once lined up for sponsorships are gone, and venues are pulling out of his Withered World tour left and right, refusing to let their stages be linked to such a scandal. David's team is still sticking to their script, insisting he's innocent, claiming he's fully cooperating with investigators and brushing off the leaks as nothing more than coincidental art twisted into lies. But the internet isn't buying it. In the court of public opinion, the gavel's already slammed down, and David's name has become a digital scarlet letter spreading non-stop across every platform. As of September 18th, 2025, no formal charges have been filed, but David remains a central person of interest in an active homicide investigation. The LAPD is digging through DNA samples, cross-checking phone logs, and pulling Tesla GPS records, while the entire world watches with eyes locked on whether justice for Celeste Rivas will finally come. Every new leak keeps the fire alive, making it harder and harder for his camp to spin this into coincidence. At this point, whether those leaked confessions are completely authentic or cleverly fabricated, the damage is permanent. David's career has already been shattered beyond repair, and the scandal has sparked a bigger conversation about how fame, power, and unchecked access to young fans can turn deadly when no one steps in. What started as one of music's brightest success stories has become a nightmare unraveling in real time. If you made it this far, sound off in the comments. Do you think David is guilty, framed, or hiding something even worse? Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you want more deep dives like this.